Good communication helps bridge the gap between consumers and producers in order to answer questions about how beef is produced from pasture to plate. And joining me now is Alli Fender. She's the 2023 Beef Advocate of the Year. Alli, thanks for coming to the show, and let's begin by just telling the folks just a little bit about your background in the beef industry.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for having me, first of all. It's been a total privilege to be here and an honor to be here and to have that Beef Advocacy of the Year award for this year. I'm so thankful for that. So I'm from San Diego County. I actually I'm just about an hour outside of downtown San Diego in the Northeast region. It's a beautiful little secret gem that a lot of people don't really know about or don't really consider like cattle country, but we do have some cattle in that area. My family actually immigrated over here from Switzerland from the 1920s and started off with a dairy operation, then it slowly transitioned to beef. And in 2014, my husband and I got married. We ended up getting 10 bred heifers for our wedding gift from my dad. So that's kind of what started our operation, and we call ourselves Flying F Ranch. It was our brand that we selected for our cattle. California is a brand state, so we did have to submit those paperwork. And so that's kind of what started our brand, essentially, for our business as well. Our motto is we give a flying F about beef, so that's always a fun story to tell. And from something that's a little bit different about what my family has always done and what we do now is we have implemented Black Angus genetics into our program, and we do beef direct to consumer sales as well as kind of elevating our genetic side for our Black Angus beef. So that's been a really fun story to be able to develop, and that's kind of got me to where I am today.
Yeah, you have lots of opportunities to share that story with consumers. I'm curious, tell us a little bit more about how you share the beef production story with consumers.
Yeah, so I do a lot of social media interactions and sharing our story through social media as well as just being present in public and things of that nature. I'm a part of our local Cattle Women's Association, so that's been a really huge push for me too. And communicating with children in like schools and even outside of that, like different communities and things of that nature. So it's been fun to connect with people that don't really have any foot in the industry or have been several generations removed from the industry. And especially from where I live, there's not, like I said, there's not a lot of cattle production in that area. So I do have a lot of people to communicate with and share that story. And not only my story, but our story as a cattle producing culture.
A huge audience in California.
Yeah.
So how do you think that communication that you initiate really helps the farmers and ranchers all across the country as you help tell the beef production story?
I think just being out there and pushing the envelope a little bit on trying to share my story has helped others maybe like inspire them to do something similar on their own. Yeah. And I think that honestly it's just about starting with sharing your own story first, and then, as I said, continuing to share the story of the beef industry as a whole, because we're so diverse in everything we do. There's, everything from a cow-calf operation to a feedlot to the grocery store. So there's a big story to tell, and to be able to be an expert in like my own situation, which is, I would say probably being a mother and cooking for my family and support, or really valuing the health aspect of it has been a huge thing for me. And just having that connection to like connect with other mothers in outside of the industry or within the industry, and making sure that I can like have that connection with someone else that might be an outsider.
Yeah. You mentioned cooking. You're not only a great communicator, you must be a great cook, because you won the Beef It Up recipe contest here at the CattleCon 24. Tell us how that contest helps connect consumers with beef.
Yeah, so I'll just share a little backstory on that recipe. So I am also a part of the San Diego Farm Bureau, and every year the Farm Bureau has an event called Graze, and it's at the Carlsbad Flower Fields. If you've never been, you should take a visit. It's beautiful. It's flowers everywhere. But they bring in different farmers and even ranchers to share like a small bite of their product. So I came in with Flying F Ranch, and we did a recipe with our brewery, because we also do grain pickups from our local brewery down in San Diego to feed our feeder steers for our direct-to-consumer program. So it's a cool full circle story that I can share with my audience about, the upcycling story. And so we did like a partnership, and they also have a restaurant. So we needed something quick, something fast, something that can stay hot. So we decided to do a picadillo recipe. And I have to give full credit to Viewpoint Brewing Company on that recipe, but it was a collaborative kind of situation. So when I won this recipe, I sent them all the things. I'm like, wow, you guys will never believe this, but our recipe won. So they're really excited about this too. So that's been a really fun thing. But I think it's a cool, recipe to share just because it's something a little bit outside the box. Most people, when they think about ground beef, they think of burgers or like adding it into a sauce or things like that. So it's kind of fun to elevate it and make it a little bit more fancy. So you should give it a try.
I will look forward to trying that. Thank you so much for coming to the show, Alli, and congratulations again on this incredible honor.
Thank you so much.
Alli was one of 3 recipe winners featured at CattleCon 24. Darcy Sexton of Oregon was honored for her Asian beef bowl, while Adam Wackel of Nebraska won for his chuck roast sliders. Not only were their award-winning recipes served to convention goers, those recipes were also showcased during CattleCon 24. Now, if you missed these dishes, you can still make them for yourself and your friends and family. Just go to beefitswhatsfordinner.com to find these delicious recipes.